5-star here, March Madness time. Chance tried to take my segment over last week. Not happening again. He even tried to wear the black shirt today to come in here thinking he was going to. No. I don't care if it's an Alabama shirt or a black shirt, especially that Adidas shirt. You're not taking over the 5-star segment, the hottest segment in the show. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to start out with first. This 5-star is a player who you think would be dominant in another professional sport. A lot of dual athletes, dual sports, Deion Sanders, Bo Jackson guys that came up that played two sports, which I think is incredible to be able to do that at a professional level. But these are guys who haven't played the other sport, but you know they would dominate. Number 5, Randy Moss in basketball. We all have seen the commercial with him and Jason Williams, the Good Old Boys commercial, where Jason Williams is throwing it off the backboard and everything to Randy Moss. Randy Moss is one of the most freak athletes you'll ever find, and I think he would have been a great basketball player, a kind of a defensive running gun, dunking, playing great D. I think Randy could have definitely played NBA basketball. In his highlights, I think he was the MVP of the state championship. He definitely could have. Number 4, Bo Jackson in track. This guy played baseball. This guy played football at the professional level. But the rumors are he ran like a 4.140. If this guy can run a 4.140 or a 4.240 or whatever it was, you know he could have been in the Olympics. I would have loved to seen Bo Jackson in his prime at the Olympics running against Michael Johnson and all these other guys in the 90s that were running. I think Bo would compete. Bo's too much of a competitor. I know he would have dominated. So Bo Jackson in track would be my number 4. Number 3, Julius Peppers in basketball. Obviously played at North Carolina, played on NCAA tournament teams, was a great player, football and basketball. He was just a lot better at football. Auburn fans will all recall the interception in the bowl game that he threw back in bounds. Julius Peppers is a freak. And in the NBA that he would have played in today and in the past, he would have been a great defensive guy, great lob guy, dunk guy. I think he would have averaged 12 to 14 points a game, played unbelievable defense, and been an easy 10 to 15 rebound type guy. Number 2, LeBron in football. We all seen the highlights in high school where I think his quarterback couldn't throw it 20 yards. He was an all-state receiver as a sophomore. I think LeBron at tight end would have been incredible. I think he could have been an all-pro tight end. He's just a freak athlete, a freak specimen. Obviously never really gets injured, never has been so durable, still playing in his 40s. I think him in football, he could have played at the professional level, and there's no doubt about it. I know we've seen the commercial of him going over and blocking the field goal for the Cleveland Browns jumping over the line. I really think LeBron could have been an impact player in the NFL. And number 1, it's an easy choice for me, Allen Iverson, football. He was Michael Vick. He was that type dual threat type player before there was the Michael Vicks and everything. They said in Virginia there's still a legend of him running around as a state championship quarterback, making the throws. It was actually his favorite sport, but his mom didn't want him to play because they thought he was going to get hurt. But yes, I still think Iverson could have played in the NFL of how good of an athlete, how fast, the quickness. I mean, he was Vic type quick, could throw it. I don't know if he could throw it as good as Vic, but like I said, he was a legend in Virginia, state championship quarterback. I think he could have played in the NFL. Aaron Brooks was another guy that was from that area that played in the NFL that was like, this dude was way better than I was. So if he says that and Vic says that, I'm taking them. I think Iverson could have been an NFL quarterback for sure. Or at least play some corner. I mean, I think he was a corner and a pick machine as well on defense. So, all right, March Madness, my favorite time of the year. There are so many times I remember being in middle school, junior high, and high school where that TV was turned on during the day and you got your bracket up, you got your highlighter out, and now everything on the internet changed that. We can just keep up on here. But you watched every single game. It was some of the most fun times of my life. You always wanted that cool teacher that was going to let you watch the March Madness.
Or the ones that we did brackets for.
Brackets for bonus points. Yep, Coach Gibson, shout out to him. What's the best weekday sports event that happens during the day? So these are things that happen from the hours of 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. where you can watch during the day and enjoy it, that helps work go by faster or whatever the case may be. And I think everybody loves these. We don't get enough of these, but here's my top 5. Number 5, Chance, you want to go and give yours? Wait for my 5.
I was about to say it'll ruin your top, I bet.
Number 5, NCAA baseball, College World Series in particular. When they put out the big bracket for NCAA baseball, In the College World Series, there's usually a lot of day games that happen during the game. I remember a big Clemson-Auburn game that happened a couple of years ago. Florida's played, Bama's played, all the day games. To be able to be watching a baseball game while you're at work or wherever the case may be and kind of checking it in, you can still get work because baseball moves a little bit slower, but you can still watch the game. So I would say that would be probably number 5 on my list. Number 4 is the World Cup. I love a good World Cup game during the day. And they usually play at 9 a.m. and at 1 p.m. So at 9 a.m., I remember watching all these great games, especially with Chance, and we're watching, and we're supposed to be working, but we're wanting to see Mbappe or Spain or somebody like that. But yeah, again, another good sport that not a lot goes on. It's usually a 1-0, 3-0 game, so you can always kind of keep doing what you're doing so you're not getting in too much trouble. But the World Cup would be number 4, and that's actually grown. That probably wouldn't have been on my list, but that's number 4 on my list.
I think you're insane. I think World Cup should be number 1. I think it's the most fun throughout an entire day because there's some like college bowl games that are throughout the day during like the holidays. But most people out of school already, all that stuff. But I think the World Cup is something that the entire world is like we all pause to watch this.
Well, again, it's number 4 on my list, but number 3 is the bowl games. So bowl games, you're usually out of school, but we're working. So again, we're not in school, so we're still. But yes, getting that most wonderful week of the year, as they call it, with bowl games, you're getting, usually the New Year's Day falls on the weekend sometimes, but most of it's a weekday. You're getting up at 11, you're watching it the whole way through. Playoffs now, I think that's the best weekday football type thing. And obviously, NFL doesn't do many of those besides on the weekends. Bowl games, number 3. Number 2, Masters. Those first 2 rounds of the Masters on Thursday and Friday are great, usually because they're at the end of the week. Usually because you're wrapping up your week, but you're getting you a cold refreshment after 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock when you're getting off work. You're able to watch the guys come up 16 through 18. The Masters, the best of it's into the weekend, but you still get those 2 days and the par 3 competition during the week. Something coming up next month. Looking forward to the Masters. And then number 1 is March Madness. I don't care what Chance says about the World Cup. The world pauses for March Madness too. And there's nothing like one game elimination, every second, every basket, every buzzer beater. That's why March Madness is number 1, why it'll always be number 1, and why I think it is the greatest postseason in all of sports.
March Madness would be number 2 on my list.
Okay.
World Cup would be number 1.
Okay. And even though he's not a soccer guy or really a basketball guy, I figured the bowl games would be number 1 for you. But again, it's just such a short time frame, so I guess you're right.
And it's only like 2 games throughout the day. When you got the World Cup, and especially when I guess the older we got with gambling. Yeah. World Cup's more fun to bet on throughout an entire day.
Very true. Hey, that's my list. Remember to share, like, subscribe. Get on there, subscribe so you can get your $100 Academy gift card if you can win it all here on Titan Tigers.